I'm currently still an officer, and yes, 13 years, and no, I didn't have any citizen complaints filed against me. Well, actually, it's currently being addressed. Well, it was in the process of being addressed before we had a change. What is that, fourth or fifth change in administration that I've lost track. Chief Barron was in the process of splitting the districts into precincts and going back to precincts. I don't know if the current administration is going to continue that practice. I understand they're in the process of splitting the Northwest District back to 6 and 8, but there are no physical buildings to put the two in, so they're going to be in the same location until we can actually have a physical building. So number 10 is a precinct now. It was a part of the Western District, so 10 and 12 are split. I think the plan, although I'm not 100% sure, I think the plan is to split, but that could change, and as things tend to change based on the administration. As a council person, what I'm going to do at the council table is ask the question, what's more beneficial? Based on the data you have, what's more beneficial? Is it precincts or is it districts? And if the data shows that precincts are more beneficial to serving the needs of the citizens, then because I have budget oversight and because I have the ability to restrain the police department's budget, I'm going to insist that we move in a way that better serve the citizens of the city of Detroit. And if that's precincts, we need to move toward precincts. Certainly we need to streamline the budget. We have to right-size the government. I agree with that idea. I don't agree with this concept of using a sledgehammer or machete as you go about taking care of this massive problem that the previous mayor left us with. You have to be sort of forensic and methodical. I mean, there are lives involved, there are families involved. I think it's necessary to have public safety, police, fire, EMS. I think it's necessary to, well, let's include lighting in that too. I think it's necessary to have the water system. Those are things that are necessary. Garbage pickup is necessary. Beyond those core things, some cuts may be necessary to make. What those cuts are, I'm not sure. There's been a lot of talk about regional transportation. My concern with any kind of regional plan is, how is it going to affect city workers? How is it going to affect city residents? I'm not inclined to go with any regional plan that's going to take away not only jobs from city workers, but the power and control that Detroit has been used to. If we can come to some kind of agreement that works best for both sides, and it still services the people of the city of Detroit in the way they're used to being serviced, then maybe a regional plan for transportation is not a bad idea. Right now we subsidize the transportation system to the tune of, I think, $80 million. There has to be some cut somewhere. I'm concerned about where those cuts are going to be. Another concern I have is that this plan will be already set in motion and done before I get to the council table in January, and I won't have no say-so on what exactly is going to happen. So I would hope that the council that's currently there would see fit to kind of slow the pace down a little bit since we're nearing the end of the year. Let the new council take its seat and let us that are going to be at the council table weigh in and not just roll over and give in to whatever it is the administration wants to do. Here's the thing with the forensic audit, and I'm learning because I'm not a CPA and math wasn't my strong point in high school. I talked to a young lady who was a financial person at DPS, and she told me a forensic audit would slow down the process to some degree and bring everything to a halt. That's her take on it. I'm for each department being audited thoroughly. I think we need to do that. I don't have a problem with the forensic audit if it's not going to slow everything down and bring it to a standstill. Whatever it's going to take to find out where the money's going, where it's being spent, and how we can better use our resources, I'm 100% behind that. But if a forensic audit is going to bring us to some kind of standstill, as she described it, until the audit is completed, then I don't know if that's a good thing to do. But since Mayor Bing is in office currently, I think it would be smart for him to be auditing each department individually and see what we have. It may be necessary at some point to do the forensic piece, but you know, bringing everything to a halt, I don't know if I want to go down that road. I have been, and I consistently continue to be, strongly against privatization. I am strongly against outsourcing. I'm waiting for somebody to show me a model that works. I hear a lot of people talking about what's being done in other places, but no one has shown me a model that works. What I do know is that we've outsourced a lot of work, and that work has been duplicated time and time again because the people we've outsourced it to haven't done the work correctly. So as someone described to me, it's like going out to eat all the time when you know your finances are bad. You know, at some point you got to cook your own meal. I think it's long overdue for Detroit to be cooking his own meal and keeping that work in-house and letting city employees take care of it, because the cost is so much greater when you're outsourcing it, and then you got to do it all over again anyway. So I'm strongly against privatization and outsourcing. From my understanding, and I haven't had a chance to see everything over there, the water department has an abundance of contracts that are outsourced. We've had some outsourced to Bobby Ferguson, and we know how that process worked. You know, the double billing. You know, he comes in low with the bid, and then after he gets the deal, he comes back with a change order, and we end up paying millions and millions of dollars over and over again. I have a great concern about what's going on at the water department as it relates to outsourcing. The charter commission, for me, is larger than even the city council race that I'm in, because the charter commission is going to rewrite what I call the Bible. The charter commission, what they do at that table is going to set things in motion and where Detroit's going to be for the next 10, 20, how many ever years. My concern is if you have too many political people at that table with agendas, it's going to determine which way that goes. And the flip side of that is, and there are quite a lot of lawyers in that race too, and you know, lawyers tend to write language that only they can interpret. So you know, our charter is not very well written as it stands right now. What I would like to see changed, we need a stronger forfeiture ordinance or rule in the charter. We need a strong ethics policy. We need to give council members more power over department heads. Right now, of course, they all answer to the mayor and not to council. We need council by district. I think that's important, particularly for someone like myself who lives on a block where there are 15 vacant houses, and you know, on any given day I might see mattresses in the street and couches on the sidewalk. I don't have any council people living in my area of the city. Southwest Detroit is another area that goes unrepresented. As my master's thesis, I should tell you, I did a paper on council by district, and the focus of that was Southwest Detroit and how they've been long forgotten. Council by district is important in many ways, but I think accountability is one of the key things I'm looking for to come out of the council by district. Of course, you have people who will tell you, well, it doesn't work, it didn't work back then. The last time we had council by district was 1918. We moved away from that for two reasons. One was corruption, the other was racism. Just because it didn't work then doesn't mean we shouldn't make some changes in how we do business now. We have corruption in the at-large system. So I don't think we should shy away from making changes just for fear that there may be corruption. So those are the things that I would like to see the charter address.